Davante, Jeff was telling us, and Aaron talked about it a little bit too, the speech he gave after the game. What made you compelled to stand up and say something? If you can just take us back for a little bit of what you said.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really my personality to see something that's not right and to just let it go on, regardless of whether it's from the coaches, players, management, support staff, whoever. So obviously there was a lack of energy and urgency out there, and it was apparent, especially coming from, I've played on teams that have that winning culture, and just basically I just took a moment to let them know, like, I had reservations about speaking up too early and being too vocal too early, but I felt like, in my mind I said F that, because I need to, we don't have time, and I got to do whatever I got to do to help this team move forward. And lacking energy, I mean, that's a prerequisite to be able to go out there and have a good year or have a good play or, whatever it is. So in my mind, it was something that I wouldn't have been able to sleep if I didn't speak up on it. And, I got a lot of good feedback, which it wasn't a big rah-rah thing. It was just more, to bring awareness to it, because a lot of these guys in here haven't been anywhere else where they've won and, have had that urgency that it takes in order to be a good team. So, this team being so talented on the, roster-wise, it's just a waste to have everybody out there and, to have a dead sideline like that. Brees catch a ball and go 60, and we can't feed off none of the energy, and those type of plays are supposed to be contagious for the rest of the team. So that's basically what I saw and what I told them is a thing. I'm not here to be the savior. Everybody was looking, the whole world. Trump was at the game. I don't know if that's because of me or not, but I mean, everybody's sitting here expecting it to be, me go out there and put up 200 yards and 3 tugs when, that's a storybook ending to it, and obviously that would have been amazing if that happened. But I'm here to help shift this culture more than anything. I can go out there and make the plays that I can make and try to, influence the guys, as much as I can. But I'm trying to, enforce a winning mindset on these guys. And if you don't have, the energy, which is the least you got to have. I mean, you only get 17 games. We can talk like that's a lot of games or not, but I also said to them, this ain't baseball. We got a few opportunities to come out here, show what we work on, all the crazy blood, sweat, and tears we put into this, and to have only 17 options and to come out flat like that and essentially give away a game, that's unacceptable. So just trying to bring a different type of swag and culture in here.
When did you first know? Was it before the game you noticed that, or was it?
No, it's throughout the game, and it really didn't dawn on me all the way until later in the game when it was quote unquote over, and I was just thinking about it. I'm seeing some of the plays and seeing when guys are making plays, and I've been part of the Raiders. We didn't win a whole hell of a lot, but at the end of the game, guys are making plays. We still dapping one another up and playing for our pride, if nothing else. And I just felt like it wasn't necessarily that guys weren't playing hard, but we weren't out there celebrating together. We weren't playing. It didn't feel like a whole lot of fun was being had. And I have fun every time I step out on the field. It's a mindset you got to have. You got to make up your mind before you get out of bed. Playing this game, and I just didn't feel like it was all the way there. And when you see some of the plays, like, we were moving the ball, and it wasn't necessarily we came out flat, but the energy, like, I don't care if it got to be fake. You got to, bring some juice. If I make a play, come and slap me on the helmet and show me that you appreciate the fact that I went and did what I did. And when you make a play, it could be 12 yards. G caught a little one-stepper on the outside and got back in early in the game, got back out. I'm running over there to dap him up, and it's not something fake, but it's just more to spread that type of energy and get everybody's mind into the game, because that all those things help.
How do you think it was received? What kind of feedback from your teammates?
I got amazing feedback. The staff, owner, everybody had something to say about it, and I don't think there's one person in there that couldn't, it didn't resonate with. And like I say, it's not like guys are in here just lazy or nothing like that. Like I said, we made some plays. It wasn't to the standard that I see fit in order to, create a winning culture. And that's ultimately what it comes down to.
When you're trying to make a change of culture like this, and you're trying to change the mentality of everybody, can it happen like that?
Why not? Why not? It's not something that you need to. Obviously, everything is trained in this game. So the more you do, the more natural it'll become. But all I got to do is make you aware. Maybe it's as simple as before we hit the field. Hey, finish this play right here. Like it may not be ingrained in your DNA, but if you come out and come run one play, I guarantee you I can get you to finish after hearing it one time, as long as you're reminded. It doesn't have to be, we want to ultimately get it to where it's second nature and nobody has to tell you anything, but that's the part of training. So, the first step is me bringing awareness to it, and, guys were mature about it, and I could see it in everybody's eyes that it was something that they had never heard or been exposed to, and, that's part of the problem, but also why I can't get down and upset at them, more just, here's what it is. Now you're aware, so if we go out next game and we have the same type of issues, then it's a bigger issue. And, me as, regardless if I just got here, I'm a leader of this football team. And, whether or not every single person in there sees it that way, that's how I see it, and that's my responsibility. And that's something that I take serious.
Was that play that you made to stop that from scoring on the interception, was that an example of all of that, what you just said?
Well, that's an example of finish and the mindset for sure. But when I talk about the energy, it was more of energy is what I was speaking on, as far as, Brees, like I said, he breaks one down the field, play that wasn't designed to go to him, wasn't designed to get down there and check down, and we see him getting upfield, and it's like, cool. Guy got 60 yards and we don't feel nothing from the sideline. Like, again, I'm not pissed off at the guys, but you just got to make them aware that that's not right. And there's a way to, and it's also demoralizing for the defense. And I know the offense alike. They go out there and they get the ball off you and they get to celebrating when I'm still on the ground. Like, I wrap the dude up and he's after the thing. Like, they're doing all of this rah-rah and all that. Like, that can weigh on the opposite side of the ball. So, we want to play obviously be as tough as possible, but also play the mind games as well.
Aaron talked about overcoming the ghosts of the past, and obviously you weren't here for any of that. He wasn't here for a lot of that. How do you approach that as somebody who's just getting here and kind of examining it for the first time?
I mean, exactly the approach I'm taking now, basically. Just acknowledge the fact that, when something's off, or, give a positive reinforcement when something is good. It's not always, somebody not finishing or something like that, but anytime I see it and it's off, and when you know better, you got to do better. And I know better in a lot of instances. I've been playing ball for a long time, and I've been a part of multiple clubs at this point. So, having guys that I've looked up to, and I would watch, Jordy Ness and Randall Cobb, and see how these guys finished and the mindset they had, finishing, whether it's blocking, finish in practice, catch a ball, finish to the end zone. It's like those type of things that I saw, and I'm like, okay, this is the way to do it right here. So, like you said, I haven't been here the whole time, so they haven't been able to necessarily see me work it and be able to, kind of go off of that, but being able to speak it into existence, and then, like he brought up, the stopping the pick six, like those are the type of plays that I can show them right now. This is my mindset and why you should listen to, the way that I'm speaking, because I'm going out there and I'm showing you exactly, I'm practicing what I'm preaching.
Is it on Sunday, is it something that you'll know pretty quickly if that message is resonating, like when you guys get out there against the Patriots?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's something that, like I said, it's not a test. I'm not sitting there like, let me see what they do. Like, I'm coming out in warm-ups and you're going to feel the energy, and then that's how you get to, spreading that. You're going to feel it there, and then, start it off. I might be in the kickoff huddle and remind them, it's something like that. It's just something to keep on their minds. But I wanted to get after it, nip it in the bud after the game, while it's fresh. Everybody's, fresh off the game and nice and pissed off. And that way it kind of sinks in a little bit better. Me going out there in the kickoff huddle right before the game and say it, without having something behind it before that, I feel like it's not going to hit the same. Guys are going to be like, yeah, okay, and get ready to go. Versus now they know why it is that I'm saying it, to start the game. And, it was made into a bigger deal where, it wasn't like I'm in there screaming at them. Obviously I'm passionate, so it got a little – it wasn't quiet, but at the end of the day, I did what I felt was necessary to get a spark.
Couple more?
Davante, why didn't maybe you did this, but some people say, why did you do this with the Raiders? They were struggling and trying to turn things around, and maybe they needed this, but you wanted out of there. Why do it here and not there?
Two totally different situations. We're not talking about. I'm talking about juice. And the Raiders, we had juice. We had many other issues, but it wasn't about energy on the field and celebrating with one another. We had already established that, and helping somebody gets tackled, running over, getting them off the ground, patting them on the ass or on the head. That's what I'm talking about. And we had that aspect. It was. Every team has their struggles, but this team, it's not about moving the ball. I mean, I wouldn't say that that's an issue. It's about finishing and creating that juice that's lasting and that energy that allows you to carry that throughout the game and spring your brother for a couple plays as well.
You've played for two organizations that have a lot of legacy, a lot of pride in their legacies, right? So I guess the problem that you see here, do you think it's the personnel, or is it the whole franchise, or? Interesting question. It's a little bit of everything. It's on everybody. Anytime an organization is in a losing streak or a losing organization, for the ones that are, and I'm not going to call any organization that I'm a part of a losing organization, but obviously there's been some of that in the past in recent years around here, and it's a little bit of everything. Obviously personnel, but I would say with this team, it's more just learning how to win and what it takes, the small things that necessarily don't have to come from the owner or the general manager. This is something that you can solve within the team if you got the right people in here, guys that know how to win. And it's not just about having good players, because we have that. Like I said, you got to have guys that understand and have been on teams that have won sometimes, and that's a big reason why I'm here.
When you were younger, did you have an example of an older player or a veteran that did this for a team that you were on?
You never truly know. It's not everybody. It's not always about being vocal, because had Jeff not told you that, I'm not coming in here saying I had a speech. You guys will never know. And then the culture gets shifted, and then you just say that there was a switch, and we don't know, and then the media will find something to attribute it to. But for me, I don't know. I can't really call that out. I know a mentor of mine was Larry Fitzgerald, and he's a winner, and he's that type of guy that won't just sit there, and that's a person that I maybe have learned from afar of how to approach situations like this, and not to just be quiet and to be mindful of how to approach it, because it's not always yelling at somebody, but knowing how to working with your personnel who you have and find out the best way to get to guys.
Quick off topic. Fresno State, you're there the same time as Aaron Judge. Were you guys friends? You know him?
Yeah, I did. I tried to recruit him. He was like Blake Griffin to me. I was trying to get him to come out and be, because I went to Fresno to play football and basketball initially, so I was trying to get his ass on the hoop court or the football field, one or the other, but he was in the batting cages, as he should.
He did okay. What do you think of, what have you admired about him from afar now, and where he is in the World Series this week?
It's a special thing. He's doing something that I aspire to do, which is to have a chance at a championship, and he went to the greatest university in the world, so can't really have too much to complain about for him there.